Hi, how is everyone today? We are Monday, the 5th of February, and we're gathering to do our new moon circle tonight, or whenever you're watching this in catch up. So I'm just getting myself sorted. Just pop that over there. So first thing to tell you before I forget is your February cosmic moon kit. Remember, I'm calling them cosmic moon kits now, is already and uploaded in the members portal. And it's obviously been specifically channeled through for the new February energies that we've now stepped into. It's an interesting month energetically, and you have everything within that, all the tools that you need to help you help support you to harness and navigate the energies that are going to be coming up for you. So there's lots and lots of different things, and it'd be definitely worth you getting hold of that if you can, downloading that. So you have included in that kit, you obviously have your two moon spreads, the full and the new moons there. So we've got a new moon this Friday, I believe it is. Yeah, this Friday. So we're now in that kind of dark moon phase leading up to this Friday. And so if you can get those downloaded and at least get your new moon spread downloaded, then you can we're going to go through it tonight, but then you can deepen into that over that new moon period. It's always a good idea to review it if you can, and just find a bit of time to do that. It only takes about 10 minutes, and then just get your journal out and do that for yourself. So you've got those two moon spreads. You've also got the snow moon. We've got a snow full moon coming up towards the end of the month, and this will rise in Virgo, which is a very kind of meticulous, discerning sign. So it's quite an interesting moon spread. So definitely use that for the full moon, and obviously we'll be circling on that week as well together. And you have your full moon spread, and you also have an activation, so a snow moon activation, which brings in all those current energies. Really, really potent one. You also have your calendar for February of all the key dates and how that energy is going to be impacting on you. And you also have an audio version and my explanation around that for the energies for February. And also, I've given a little bit of guidance around spiritual practices for this month, because I don't know if you remember me telling you, it may have been in the podcast actually, but February is all about this emergence of our spiritual self, our spiritual practices, our faith, our belief systems. So we're really going to be having depending on where you're at with it all, awakening for many souls, many people, or a deepening or an establishing of practices. And this is going to become more and more prevalent, especially this month, but as the year goes on, because this is the key to your growth, right? It's how you're embodying what you believe, what you're saying. It's really about you walking your spiritual talk. And I really feel that what you do this month will really pave the way for the rest of the year, and beyond that, obviously, and beyond that. And it's just something that's really, really occurred to me, that we don't, for me, this month is obviously we're stepping out of the dark winter months, aren't we? The January is really that mid-winter, and we're stepping away from that now. We're starting to very, very slowly awaken from that kind of hibernation mode. I still feel I'm in it a lot, really. But, you know, we look around, we see the signs, the first signs of spring with the snowdrops and the bird song and the, you know, the hedgerows are starting to green. Like I can see it. I can see plant, you know, some leaves starting to unfurl just very, very slowly. And I feel that this is what's happening to us. I can feel myself rushing again at my action steps, and I'm really trying to deliberately, intentionally slow down. You know, because I don't want to get caught up in this rush again. And we've got time for that. You know, we've got spring ahead of us. We can start to feel it. So, you know, still take that time to slow down. Obviously, we've still got first frost and things like that. And although the earth is starting to warm, the sun's starting to warm the earth, it's you know, still really important to slow down and be intentional as much as you can. But I also feel as well that this month is a bit of a pivotal month in that we do need to look backwards and just see how far we've come. You know, I was thinking that it feels expansive, and I feel, you know, Jupiter's kind of flicking in and out this month, and it's a very expansive planet. And I feel like we're feeling that energy, you know, I'm feeling expansive at times. And then sometimes I think, but what have I achieved? You know, what, you know, and it's all this thing of, you know, where does the greatness lie? And we look to external things, don't we? We look to external accolades when really, it's about going within and seeing our growth, our soul growth, our self-development, seeing how far we've come, seeing, you know, how much space we're holding, how much light we're holding, because that's where it's at. You know, today, this morning, I was feeling a little bit like, oh, I'm not really achieving so much in my physical reality. But then I thought, well, hang on a minute, it starts within, and let's just look back, see how much I've grown, how much my mindset has shifted, and I've taken leaps of you know, just real leaps in the way that I've grown and shifted. And I invite you to do the same, and I invite you to celebrate that and really applaud yourself for the shifts that you've taken, you know, because it's not for everybody to, you know, we're not all destined to have this kind of greatness and great life. And you know, or what I mean by that is like have this incredible career. And you know, not all of us are destined. That's not a destiny path for all of us, and greater if it is, you know. But there's also, I feel like we don't always take the time to appreciate just how much we've grown as a person. And really it starts there, doesn't it? It starts within. And often when we start within and we really celebrate and take notice of that, this starts to ripple out, because this is where our self-worth lies and our sense of self and purpose lies. It's interesting actually, because my husband went to he has this kind of like biannual booze up in Birmingham, but it's like, as I call it, where he meets some of his college friends, and we're kind of all in our 50s, and a couple of his friends were talking about retirement, when they're going to retire, but they were kind of also holding off because one of them could have retired in 3 years, or could be retiring 3 years, but he doesn't know what he's going to do. And he's worried he's going to feel purposeless. And, you know, it really got me thinking that, you know, that sense. Gosh, like we just got booted out. So I'm hoping that this is still recording. So apologies for that. Just trying to pick up my thread, you know, and can I just say that I'm noticing this more and more, where I'm losing connectivity, and you know, just like online platforms aren't working, or online software not working properly. Remember what we said about this solar flare activity, that it's really going to be getting impacted. So that's interesting that that's just happened. So hopefully you got that first bit. But I was just saying that my husband had been away for the weekend, and a couple of his friends were sort of looking to retire in a few years' time, but that they're worried about not having something to do. And again, it comes back to this sense of self, doesn't it? And sense of purpose. And it's not, and that sense of purpose, that soul purpose, we would call it, is not necessarily linked to your career or your job. I mean, it can be, but it's just something, you know, that it's a big part of our sense of who we are and our happiness and our well-being, to have a purpose, you know. And it could be just that you could be a space holder, or a you know, someone who loves to commune and gather people, or someone who just loves to walk dogs and be out in nature and be sociable and talk to people, and just, you know, lift their day a little bit, just by being you and with your light. You know, it doesn't have to be something that earns money, or, you know, I sometimes think we equate these things, and it causes misconceptions. It's something that lights us up, and something that we feel deeply connected to, that really gives us a sense of fulfillment when we honor that within ourselves. And that is all linked to our lineage, our spiritual lineages, our ancestry. It probably would have been something you were doing in past lives, gifts that have come through. And if you can find a way to bring it into this lifetime, even better. So yeah, just, you know, I feel that all of these things are going to suddenly become a bit more significant this month. You know, and I'm hearing sort of tail ends of conversations, you know, people talking around this subject. And I feel that it's very much to do with that. So primarily February seasonally is to do with this emergence. You know, the spring is on its way. The earth is being warmed up by the sun. And, you know, our spiritual gifts, we're waking up, we're feeling our gifts, we're feeling our purpose, we're deepening into our practice, all of this in preparation for action, taking aligned action. And, you know, just slow things down. If you're starting to get overwhelmed, slow things down. There is a sense of renewal and newness and hope in the air, but, you know, it doesn't mean you have to go and jump at things either. You know, slow down, take your time, be intentional as much as possible. All right, my love. So that's the kind of February overview and how that's going to feel. You know, there's several things to say around that, obviously, but let's kind of look at what's coming up this month, like key dates. And remember, you have all of this in your in the members portal in your February Cosmic Moon Kit. So don't forget to have a look at that and download that for yourselves. So I feel at the moment we're kind of entering into this dark moon phase. It's, for me, it can be quite a struggle. It feels quite emotional, and just feeling my limitations, feeling a bit yucky, and you know, it just, yeah, it's not my favorite time of the lunar cycle, but I know that I do get a lot of clarity once I move through it. So it is quite a, you know, it's a potent phase. It's an important phase and part of the lunar cycle. I'm trying to think of something just popped into my head and then popped out again. I'm sure it will come back to me. Yeah, and I don't have a lot of energy, you know, so I have to kind of slow down and just lean into those uncomfortable moments and times. And actually, that's what came to me today, was this thing of you know, celebrating our wins and looking at how far we've shifted, and the recognition that you know comes from you and starts with you. You know, don't wait for it. Don't wait for that external validation. You know, you've got to look at that and give that to yourself. I really feel that's important. So this dark moon will go on till this Friday, the 9th. So here in the UK, the new moon rises on the Friday. You've got your moon spread in the members portal. The new moon will rise in Aquarius because the sun is in Aquarius. So we've got that kind of conjunction going on. Aquarius is a very hopeful, innovative, compassionate sign. It's all about unity, consciousness, the collective. So all of that goodness you'll be very inspired in that way at the moment. I'm feeling really sociable. You know, I want to connect with people. I'm not really going out at night at the minute because I just don't feel I've got that energy to do that. But I am meeting up with people purposefully. I'm really enjoying that, and I feel ready for that. And I feel that's that Aquarius influence. Sorry, just a bit there. So, and it's very expansive as well. So depending on where you're at, you know, you may be feeling a little bit blocked, or that you're not achieving a lot, or that you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, you know, just depending on where you're at. And like I said, we've got Jupiter kind of flitting in and out as well, which will add to that expansiveness. Chinese New Year, beginning of the Chinese New Year, which will be this coming Saturday here in the UK. It's the year of the dragon, which is all about self-mastery, you know, very powerfully protective energy, very ancient energy, the dragon energy. So, you know, again, that self-mastery, that theme really fits in with this month, because it is, like I said at the beginning, it's all about, you know, your beliefs and your spiritual systems, and deepening into your practices. So this is all going to become very relevant and key this month. So 14th, February the 14th, we have Valentine's Day. I couldn't forget that, because it's that real love day, but it's, you know, it's also self-love, it's self-nurturing, compassion for others, it's exploring all of the different relationships in your life. And obviously the most important one with yourself and your higher self. We'll get to walk with Aphrodite as well, as I call her, the goddess of love. You know, so we'll have those influences coming in as well, which would just be beautiful. On the 19th of this month, the sun will move into Pisces, which is a very emotional sign, spiritual sign, sensitive sign. So we'll be feeling that towards the end of the month. So we have a Virgo full moon. The snow moon will fall in Virgo, will rise in Virgo for about 3 days. So on that week, we'll be gathering, and we can talk more about those Virgoan energies. Interestingly, on the 21st to the 22nd, we have Mars and Venus that become closer than normal. They've moved quite close this month, or closer than normal, but over those 2 days, 22nd to 23rd, sorry, 21st to the 22nd of February, they'll be pretty close, which means that we may need to take a bit of action around our relationships. And it's interesting that we've had Valentine's Day on the 14th, and then this kind of overview of relationships, and maybe where we need to take some action. Maybe we need to be boundaried, maybe we need to do some more like self-love work, or connecting with our inner child or higher self, you know, anything like that. Now I feel like I've got a feeling that something else, oh yeah, on the 14th as well, on Valentine's Day, Jupiter will be closer than normal and brighter in the sky. So again, it's going to be quite expansive, quite abundant, so abundant in love. So I love that it's falling on Valentine's Day. And then on the 29th, we're going out with a bang. We're finishing the month with a bang we fall into that powerful, powerful leap year portal. And the ancients recognized the 29th as a day for really deepening into your spiritual beliefs, your spiritual practices, really refining them. Maybe a lot of souls awakening on that day. That wouldn't surprise me as well. So this is why in your Cosmic Moon Kit, you have some guidance around just best practices for, just your spiritual practices, if that makes sense. And obviously it's each to their own. It's a very personal thing. These are just some of my thoughts around that. So definitely have a listen in if you're feeling drawn. All right, my lovelies. So yeah, so let's go into our new moon spread. So you have that on the members portal. You now have the full and the new moon spread. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through each question and I'm just going to explain them, explain the influences, and just make sure you've understood them so that you can do this either in your own time or, over the new moon, which is this Friday here in the UK. So remember, we've got the alignment between the sun and the moon towards the end of this week, both in Aquarius. Always new moon rises in the same sign as the sun because there's this alignment. So a lot of Aquarian energy. So this moon will be, it's always about digging deep and, just peeling back the layers and getting to your truest self. Because of this strong Aquarian influence, this coming new moon will be activating your subconscious thoughts. So that you'll really be aware of what's rising for you. It's all about the shadow aspects and the deeply buried patterns. These will be on the rise, okay? So don't, I'm definitely feeling a little bit uncomfortable, dark moon, but obviously we're going towards a new moon, so don't be surprised if you feel those shadow aspects rise again. Just be guided by your intuitive self, by whatever comes up in your journaling practice, and just get that clarity around your desires and dreams, okay? And then set your aligned intentions accordingly. So this moon spread is going to help you with all of that. Okay, so we have 12 questions, and number one, so just this is more of an observation, but it all starts with you and the energy that you're vibrating daily, okay? So it's just remembering that all the time, being aware. I'm constantly going within, checking how I'm feeling, like checking my physical body, where I have tension, what I'm telling myself, how I'm feeling, how my energy is presenting, how that's impacting on others, and then deliberately kind of shifting my energy, if I feel it's impacting on people or animals, because I'm obviously dog walking as well. And I feel that's really important to just clear that and make sure my energy is aligned. So just remember that. Number two, what are you focusing your energy on right now? Okay, so has there been something that's worried you? Are you overthinking somewhere? Is there a situation that you're kind of overly invested in emotionally? Just have a think. What are you focusing your energy on right now? And just write that down. Number three, so what are you intentionally attracting in your life? So it could be negative or positive. So it's obviously backing on to number two. What are you focusing on is what you're attracting into your life, right? Because there's a vibration around that. Maybe you're worried about your health, and maybe that's kind of magnifying in some way. Just have a think. What is it that you're intentionally attracting into your life? Okay. So in a way, sorry, actually coming back to that and looking at number 4, that is more positive, because if you're intentionally attracting it, hopefully that's more of a positive thing, right? So number 4, what are you unintentionally attracting which feels out of alignment? So that's something that you're focusing on, through fear or whatever. What is it that you're attracting unintentionally that you don't mean to, and it feels out of alignment? So have a think about that. Sorry, I said that wrongly, didn't I? But you'll have that in your moon spread. So number 3, what are you intentionally attracting into your life? So maybe you're trying to manifest more abundance or more time, or a more aligned relationship. Number 4, what are you unintentionally attracting? So what is it that you're kind of focusing on in a negative way that feels out of alignment? Maybe you're worried about something. Something's really taking and absorbing your attention, or you're overly emotionally invested in something, all of those sorts of things. Sorry about that. Sorry about that confusion. Number 5, are you in your authentic truth and living the life you want to live? So that's a big question. Are you in your authentic truth and living the life you want to live? So just have a think about that. There's probably no yes or no answer to this. There's probably pockets where you feel you could refine or shift, but just overall, how do you feel about that? Number 6, what expectations are placed on you as a colleague, a daughter, a friend, a mother, etc.? Do you feel that there's a lot of expectation? Do you feel that you have to be that glue? The person who kind of resolves, the person who rises above to see the bigger picture. What expectations are there on you? And you'll know. Or do you find that you're surrogating, you're people pleasing? Just have a think about that. Maybe think about several of your relationships. Number 7, what assumptions do people make about you when they meet you for the first time? That's an interesting one, isn't it? It's like turning around the mirror. But what assumptions do people make about you when they meet you for the first time? And you'll probably know, I know I feel I come across as quite gentle, and I know I am, but I also know that I can be very boundaried as well, but I'm very gentle in the way that I do that. Yeah, so that's definitely something that I know people kind of assume about me. Have a think of it. It's an interesting question. Number 8, what conditions were placed on you or by you to feel accepted, normal, validated, loved, etc.? Really interesting question. So let's just break that down a little bit. So, what sorts of things when you were growing up, or that pressures that you put, or expectations that you put on yourself, or other people put on yourself, so that you feel accepted and normal, validated, loved? So for example, maybe you were told that you mustn't shout, or you mustn't cry, that nice girls don't do that, or whatever. A lot of us were kind of brought up, but it's quite suppressive, couldn't show any emotion, couldn't get angry, or some of us felt that we had to overcompensate, so we were a lot louder than we normally would be so that we'd get noticed, so we'd feel that we would get noticed. I've definitely struggled in that I seek approval and validation, so I overdo sometimes. I find myself overdoing and trying to do this or be perfect in the way that I deliver something, a service or whatever. And then I feel that I will get validation and people would like me. And it's really quite weird because I still do it. I know I still do it. Whoops, my light's just gone out. There we go. Don't know why that happened. So yeah, just have a think about that. It's a really interesting question because remember we're looking at the, oops, I think my light's going out. So hopefully you can still see me. I think it's run out of charge. So, just have a deepen into that. In what ways did you expect, were you expected to behave so that you would feel accepted and normal? Really interesting question. And remember, this new moon is about that subconscious part and, really recognizing patterns, breaking down patterns. So we're really getting to the nitty gritty. Number 9. So what erroneous beliefs and patterns are you ready to let go of to find yourself? So this is on the back of number 8. So which ones out those things that you've just kind of highlighted are you ready to let go of? And I'm really trying to peel back from being this perfect dog walker, perfect friend, just all of those things. It is weirdly, it doesn't enter so much. I don't get pushed like that being a mother. I'm a lot more natural as a mother. But I definitely feel that perfectionism for me in different ways. So it's just that I'd share that with you just to help you connect to that question more. Number 10, how easy is it for you to return to yourself when you are worried or taken away from your center? So imagine you're getting really fearful about something. How easy is it for you to come back to your sense of self and just remind yourself, that you're getting worried? Let's just come back to center, just get heart connected again. How easy is it for you to do that? How long are you stuck in that state of fear? And obviously it will differ with whatever's going on for you, but just have a think about that, okay? Number 11, what are your new moon intentions for this lunar cycle? Now, I suspect that a lot has come out of this moon spread this time around. So really look back over your questions, maybe over that new moon, take the time to go over these questions again. And just try and deepen in and then set some new moon intentions for yourself. I'd love to know them actually. If you've got time to pop them in the Facebook, our private members Facebook group, I'd love to hear back from you about that. And number 12, as usual, what are the themes and key words for this new lunar cycle? What are the little kind of key words or themes that will help prompt you to remember your new moon cycles? Because they're new moon intentions, because that's really going to help to keep you focused and intentional around that. Do you know, I'm wondering if that light is to do with this solar flare as well. Honestly, I've had so many things kind of just not quite functioning in the normal way. All right, my lovely. So that completes our new moon spread, new moon inquiry. So let me know how that goes and what your intentions are. I'll be interested to know about that. Oh, I forgot to say as well that we had it in bulk as well, right at the beginning of February, 1st and 2nd, embolic, as one of my friends calls it. But it's what's so interesting is that obviously in bulk, that Ancient Fire Festival, it's an ancient Celtic festival that marks the kind of the beginnings of spring and the emergence. And we get to walk with Bridget as well. So I don't know whether you had that experience of her energies, the goddess Bridget, those really divine feminine energies. But it's a beautiful festival, and it's I don't know whether any of you celebrate that at all, but let me know if you did. All right, my lovelies. So if you haven't already, I'm just checking I've got my candles lit. Just take the time to get yourself ready for our energy work. We're going to finish off with our beautiful child of light healing, because I know it brings us a lot of balance and clarity, and it will just help us to get clarity over what it is we want to let go of, what it is we want to bring in for this lunar cycle. We're kind of getting towards spring, so we're in that mode now, that way of thinking, aren't we? I guess I'm just going to pop that there. Okay. All right. So actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, sorry, I'm just going to turn off my notifications so we don't get disturbed. So you may want to pop your music on, light your candles, and just make sure that you're not going to get disturbed for the next kind of 10 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes. I'm just going to pop this jumper on because I don't know, I just suddenly feel a little bit chilly. And I probably get too hot when I channel energy as usual. Sorry about all the interruptions and the losing connectivity and the light going off, but we're all right. We're all good. Okay. Right, I'm just going to have a quick glass of water while you guys get yourself ready. Okay. Right then. So we're going to start by, just pop that over there. So we're going to start by just relaxing the body and closing our eyes, feeling the body relaxing once more. Dropping our consciousness down, our head down into our heart chakra. Setting our intent once again to relax the physical body. I'm going to start by taking a couple of breaths in through the nose. Nice and gradually, and out through the nose. In through the nose. And out through the nose. If you like, allowing the breath to return to normal, keeping your eyes closed. And once again, dropping the consciousness, the head down into the heart chakra. And we're just going to set our intent for this healing session. We're just opening up our consciousness to all of this cosmic and lunar wisdom. Being receptive and open to this dark moon to new moon energy and all of the current cosmic vibrations. And we're just embracing it all, ready to harness it all. And just asking for clarity and guidance and insight around our new moon intentions. Keeping them aligned. Keeping them with a bigger picture in mind. And we shall begin. So just calling you up as a group, etherically. Bringing you all up, running white light up the body, pelvic area, torso, neck and head, and out into the auric field, space around you, opening up the heart chakra, emerald green light going into the heart chakra now. And then just clearing any density, any fear to the light. Clear quartz essence into the Chiron point. And I ask for the attunement to the complex geometric matrix of the etheric body to that of the new fifth dimensional earth grid matrix to sustain an ongoing enlightening healing process. And then bringing white light up the body once more. Coming into the crystal cross frequency. Heart pain release. And Gaia's technique. And just feeling and setting our intent to feel the heart's frequency attune to the Earth's new electromagnetic frequency. And white light the body, so coming from below the feet, up the body, and out into the auric field, space around you. And I ask that all geometric forces relating and responding to the Earth's magnetic geometric grid balance and come into alignment. And just realigning the magnetic lines of force. Gravity line. And just balancing the triangles. I ask that the etheric and crystalline body come into a state of balance and alignment to match that of the new Earth grid, and that the body continues to clear and sustain a state of wellness and physical enlightenment, and white lighting the body from below the feet all the way up the body, torso, neck and head, and out into the auric field, space around you. And I ask that the vibration of purple resonates into the physical and etheric light body systems to create emotional balance, clarity, and tranquility. And I ask that the vibration of aqua blue resonates into the physical and etheric light body systems to create a deeper level of perception and understanding. And bathing the body in a purple, beautiful purple frequency of light, the color of amethyst, coming out into the auric field, the space around you. And I ask that all geometric forces relating and responding to the Earth's magnetic geometric grid balance and come into alignment. Realign the gravity line. And white light in the bodies coming from below the feet, up the legs, pelvic area, torso, neck and head, and out into the auric field. Just being open and receptive to these vibrations, to this frequency. Just really feeling that running at the moment. Ask for the realignment of the triangular formation for etheric light body integration with the 5th dimensional Earth grid template system. We're just going to wait for a moment, just pause for a moment while the energy weaves in the patterning required. Just letting it ripple through. And then just placing the Master Grid symbol into the Earth Star Chakra, which is situated about 6 inches below your feet. Feel safe, grounded, and connected to the new Earth. So just bringing that through. And just bringing 2 silver threads from below the feet down into the Earth Star Chakra. And then I want you to feel like you're anchoring back down into your body. Just gently feel yourself being pulled back in. Grounding yourselves back in. And when you're ready, and in your own time, opening your eyes. All right then, my love. So hopefully you're back in. That felt really big, that energy. Felt very different actually tonight. Yeah, quite big energy there. So just make sure that you're fully grounded if you have to go off and drive or whatever. Just make sure you're grounded back in. And don't forget that you've got your Cosmic Moon kits for February fully loaded on the members portal, ready for you to use. And I hope that you have a good week. And, just get the most out of this dark moon to new moon phase. Any questions, let me know. Thank you for watching and listening. Sorry about all the interruptions. And I'll see you next week. Bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.